But 15 degrees, it's coming a lovely day, isn't it?
It's a pretty day now. That fog this morning has cleared away. Overcast 15 degrees.
What about the matchups, Blighty? Sorry, Dennis. What about the matchups up forward and on the ball? What are you expecting?
Well, I'd expect that Silvani would take David Neitz if he plays up forward, and I would see no reason why that wouldn't happen. Interesting to see who picks up Schwarz.
Maybe Manton may get the job.
Yeah, on one of the two.
Cotton.
We're about to find out. And speaking of missing players, we've got a missing umpire. Hayden Kennedy is out. Derek Humphrey-Smith is in. So the umpires this afternoon: McLaren, Mitchell, and Humphrey-Smith.
Porter in the ruck. Allen's gone to full forward.
Lance Whitnell, a doubt all week. First time he goes for a high ball will tell the story. Schwarz and Silvani, that should be terrific. Sun is shining down. They started the second qualifying final. Perfect bounce. White goes up and slaps it towards half forward, only as far as Camporelli. Camporelli down towards the half forward line for the Blues. Collins drops back, takes the mark, swings it out wide. McDonald, averaging 19 possessions a game this season, towards the half forward line. Liancelli low down, getting a free kick, pushing the back. Liancelli about 70 metres from goal. Drives it very high. Neitz and Silvani in front. Manton fell at their feet. Silvani clatters in hard on Neitz. And a bounce about 25 metres out from the Demons' attacking goal.
Franchina's got the job on Woe Road, and looks like Beaumont's picking up Adam Uzo. Was in great touch last week.
Vast crowd. There's the bounce. Well, neither ruckman touched the ball. Silvani trying to force it through. Mansfield at close quarters. Hickmott brilliantly done. Whistle, and a free kick will come back to Mansfield.
So no score after the opening minute, and the Blues able to get going along the members' wing. Ratton taking the mark and then going back inboard. Is there a switch on? Not particularly. Just the short instead. Freeborn takes the mark. Got someone running on the outer side, Silvani, and a bit of space in front of him as he looks up. Hamill was there, could go longer to Whitnell. No, he decides short is the option. And Hume, who came in as a late change for Bradley. Silvani had kept on going. The crowd was calling for that. Instead, he goes for Whitnell, who was in front and is going to be paid. White got a lot on it. There's two Melbourne players, but they didn't spoil Blighty.
No, they didn't. It was hard to see, actually, whether he'd got the mark or not, wasn't it? You thought White had a fair jump at it. Here he is coming in late, and the ball just dropped really, and he's marked that. Jeff White has marked that.
Gee whiz.
Well, don't bring in the fourth umpire. Don't mention it, Dennis. We don't want to start off like that.
I didn't say a word.
Good heavens.
How about that?
Oh, Yuckles.
Maybe the man in front, Mel. When you're in front, you do get those doubtful decisions, don't you?
That's true.
You've got to hold it, though, Dougie. He comes in and puts it through. What a start for the Blues from Whitnell. The man who we didn't know whether he was going to play or not because of a shoulder injury. Well, that'll give him some confidence, if nothing else.
Look, I've watched Jeff White play a fair bit, and his assessment of when to punch and mark is pretty good, Norm. He's got that lovely jump. You know,
well, his assessment was good there too.
You'd have to say that Whitnell has actually put a fingernail on the ball, though.
Yes.
He did have a bit of the ball, Mel. I agree with you there. Mansfield's got the job on Uzo. I did say Beaumont. I was incorrect there. It was Michael Mansfield on Adam Uzo.
So tomorrow morning, Jeff Geeshan waiting for the phone to ring. Already. Carlton by 6 points. Porter this time slaps it down. Powell still over at Powell. Hickmott dives into him. And that ball's not coming out. So that ball up.
Hickmott twice now. Once at half-back, once across the centre. He really is, I call him the barometer of the Carlton team now, him and Hamill.
He was the star back in round 13, booted 5 goals and did the hard stuff as well. Missed him for a few games after that. Woden out of the congestion, kicking down towards half forward. Ratton looking for Fletcher. Had it knocked away. Chance for Melbourne. Well worked. The kick inside the 50 from Ward. Bounces down towards the pocket. Plenty of Blues back. Manton across the goal face. Beaumont smothered off the boot brilliantly by Bruce. Runs onto the ball. Snaps. Had more time. More time than he knew, young Bruce. Did the hard work brilliantly across the boot. Got 4 goals last week. He's prepared to work for his goals.
Great angle of the hands, wasn't it? I mean, it was just a 45-degree angle from the kick and then the trajectory of the ball. Very simple art in technique of smothering. A lot of players come from a 90-degree angle rather than 45.
So the Blues going short out of defence. Manton Silvani on Schwarz and Manton on Neitz is the way they've lined up, which is interesting. The ball to half back. Oh, that's a good strong mark from Porter and a good sign for the Blues. Camporelli's in trouble, but he gets out of it as he has so often this year. Ward was late with the pressure. Onto the wing, Hume can break clear from here. Links up with Hickmott. Again, there's lots of space up forward. Whitnell over the top. Nicholson went crashing to the ground. Play on. Tapped away by Allen. The ball over the top. Here's Nicholson again. Woden with time. And gets Rigoni off half-back. Demons through the middle of the ground is where they should go and do. Collins, he can run as well. He's got the loose man on, as we saw, and half forward, streaming forward. Long kick. Ward! And the mark's been paid. Neitz has taken it. It's good running from Ward.
Yeah, great running there, Hutto, by Ward. Looks like he's playing on the wing at this stage. A couple of quick matchups here. Rigoni's got Ratton and Welsh has got Camporelli.
So Neitz, very tight angle. You'd expect him perhaps to run around, or maybe just come in. And a little reverse kick. Can he get the Demons first? No, he goes with the Chris Grant left foot and gets the same result. It's a goal. So a pretty fair start from both sides.
Yeah, no doubt about that, Hutto, and great work here from the Melbourne offence. I've seen a bit of the D's over the last couple of weeks, and Matthew Collins has been a very important player on their half-back flank. I like this fella off a half-back flank, Daniel Ward too. Terrific kick here. David Neitz, big job here for Glenn Manton, certainly picking him up. I thought Manton may have had Schwarz, and I just may like Silvani to pick up David Neitz at full forward.
Melbourne by a point. Demons bench, a lot of young faces. We've come to expect that. Now, centre square infringement called, I think, against Hickmott coming off the line. White taking the free, low towards half forward, terrible kick. Fletcher's in the road, plays on immediately, releasing Beaumont. Beaumont decides to go for a run. 6 bounces and a goal last week. 1 bounce this time, and he kicks it to Whitnell. Well, could be a goal on the end of this.
Malcolm, what about Ingerson? I think he could have been the man I felt maybe for Whitnell. What's your opinion of the match up here with Nicholson picking up Whitmont?
Yeah, well, I guess with Matthew Allen there, it's just stretched them a bit more than what they'd wanted to. And Whitnell was an interesting little push there, wasn't it?
Whitnell, good-looking kick. Very good kick. No, just tapering off to the left behind.
It's interesting, Malcolm, because Nicholson is a ruckman, or was a ruckman, so you would think he'd be the more logical match for Allen, wouldn't you?
Yeah, it is quite right.
Uze to himself, comes away, gave it away, free ball, surprise, dropped it under pressure, worked off it brilliantly. Rigoni got back. Woden, Walsh back to Woden. Well, a life for Melbourne, and they can make something out of nothing. McDonald's away. How about that? McDonald runs to the 50, measures the kick, heads for home, and that's close, but it's missed. Misses at both ends. And what about Freeborn? Startled by the kick, bounced off his chest, and then took too long.
Well, he had a huge chance, didn't he? Couldn't make the most of it. Meantime, the Blues working it out of defence. A long half back. Hume had a bit of it early. 1-2 Melbourne, 1-1 Carlton. Porter couldn't take it. White, well tackled. Whitnell right in the play and rewarded with a free.
Great tackle there by Whitnell. I just reckon Troy Simmons could be the man for Allen. If Allen's gone forward, I reckon Troy Simmons on the bench here. He's the man. Great tackle here by Whitnell.
Well, he unloaded. It was a wobbly one off the boot. Tough for Hamill, but he is tough. Walsh helping out. He got one from Hamill. Collins boot to ball, and I think it just bounced inside the line.
Effie, talking about tough, that Walsh. He's just been superb all year and just had eyes for the ball then.
Well, it looks like he's on Camporelli. Lined up on him when these two sides met last time. He got injured, I think, in the second quarter and couldn't come back. And after that, Camporelli and the Blues really took over. Free kick. We're going to Porter.
Yeah, one of the problems with this just matchup we were talking about with these big fellas is that it hasn't hurt them yet. So
50.
That might hurt him.
Usually does.
Oh, yeah.
He just got stuck in no man's land there. He looked at the umpire and just said, which way do I go? If he just had a replay of it, he just didn't mean to do that.
Yes, young Walsh. who's been outstanding for them this year, will not make their coach happy. Porter, who's shown an ability to go forward in his few matches this year. Started in the ruck today with Allen up forward. And a goal on the platter here, surely, to put the Blues back in front of the MCG. So it's 2-1. 2-1-13 to 1-2-8.
Well, Mel, you're a bit of a fan of Mark Porter. You do rate him fairly highly, and I just felt today if Jeff White can get on top of Matthew Allen, certainly the backup of Mark Porter is very handy for the Carlton side, and you do like him.
Yeah, I do. Gee whiz. He really is trying to get out of the way, isn't he? He's just
that is
got
a bit
himself.
stiff, isn't it?
Oh.
Odd start. Contemplating all of that, Neil Danaher. Strange things are happening, but the truth is out there somewhere. Bounce back in the middle. 2-1, 1-2.
There it is.
Porter smashes it down towards half-forward, taken away by Phoebe. Little chip back inside the centre square. Walsh taken down by Ratton. Held to him, says the umpire. No doubt Walsh keen to make amends. And a bounce out towards right centre wing. Well, he took on the tackler to a certain degree, but was going nowhere. Porter again, locking up with White this time. Should have the strength. Falls at their feet. The bodies go in willingly. Camporelli hurriedly inside the 50. Witten almost. Loose ball at the back. Allen can turn around and kick a goal. Well, he could have. As it turns out, it's out of bounds on the full in the left full forward pocket. Early jitters from both teams. Carlton in particular, not taking their chances.
Yes, Dennis. And I mean, the taller blokes in the forward line just don't know the time. They haven't got the pace to get away. So that quite often happens with big fellas.
Well, Blues forwards getting plenty of chances. Demons under pressure. Freeborn this time. It's another nail of it. They'll go again. Hamill, strong. Hickmott trying to get through. Got another chance, Freeborn. Again, he turns it over. Walsh mounted by Hume. Over the top, Ratton. It's fierce stuff. It's final stuff. Allen, can he make the most of his chances? He can steady. He didn't really steady, but he found his man. And Brett Ratton it is, who will shoot from 40 metres or even less.
Oh, it's a fair bit of energy, though, to get it to there, isn't it?
That's quite bizarre, isn't it?
Yeah.
That footy was hot there, Blighty. That was absolutely great stuff, Hutto. You called it beautifully. That was just hard, tough finals footy, that was. That last bit of passage of play was brilliant.
Yeah, it almost, yeah.
Just nice, tough footy, Mel.
Well, he has kicked 22 goals for the year, Brett Ratton, and that remains the case.
Well, one is pushed forward for the D's, and Franchino, the tag, is sitting on top of him there in the 10-yard square there.
Yeah, you're right there, Dipper, and big job for Dean Rice today. He's got Jeff Farmer. He's probably the only bloke I think could probably play on Farmer, so big job there for Dean Rice.
Yeah.
7-4 as far as inside 50s go.
Uze, beautifully weighted kick. Farmer across half-back, looking for White. Coming back is Porter. Oh, what a mark. Magnificent. Porter springs to his feet, comes out to Mansfield. Won't see many better than that. Mansfield, 75 metres out, sets it up very high. Ingerson in best position, forced to spoil. Knocked it down in front. Uze in trouble. Taken down by Hamill, comes to Hume. Hume in space, snaps a goal. That's better.
Well, it was a wonderful mark back in the middle, wasn't it? And under the fair bit of pump and pressure as we look at the jump. And he's just getting better with every game he's playing, this lad. And Jeff White, we know, is no slouch. He really went hard at the football. And from there on in, it was almost, he paid the dues for the team. And eventually Darren Hume with that great snap. Freeborn's interesting, isn't he? A couple of almost goals. I wonder if Wayne Britton said out there, he's just settled down, son. It's called Be Aware.
Well, White gives them the chance, but Porter fumbling. White, it was almost a throw. Blues called for it, and not called. On the lead, and in front Powell, and he also has been a goal kicker during the year.
This may stretch him, Malcolm. I heard you talk about his kicking before. At times it does let him down. I think he'll get the distance, but he's not a real accurate kick.
He gets all the height in his kicks, doesn't he?
He does.
Andrew Mackay coming from out the back pocket then too, so they're actually taking him back very deep.
No matter who's got him,
Yeah.
they're always pushing him back. Leoncelli's been involved as well. Kick 23 for the year, Powell. That's a great looking kick.
He does it to you. They do it.
24 now. Well called, Dougie. 3-2-20 to 2-2-14. And been feeling each other out. We've seen plenty of mistakes, but now we're well underway.
As I said, Hutto, this bloke is a thumping kick, particularly from outside 50. He's a great kick, Malcolm. But gee whiz, I've watched him over the last few weeks, and that is an area in his game where he has struggled, but that is a great mark. And you're right too, Blighty, about the fact Mackay has been dragged. They prefer him on a half-back flanking in the back pocket. No doubt about that.
Carlton lead by 6 points. Early going, first term, second qualifying final. Absorbing duel this one. Porter and White charging through his ward, taken down. Ball jarred out of there. Leoncelli's on top of it. And plenty of blue company. And a bounce out towards left centre wing for the Demons.
Farmer seems to be starting on the wing there, and Dean Rice is picking him up. And Camporelli's actually starting half-back line with Walsh for Melbourne playing the half-forward here.
Woe Woden very deep. He's in the goal square for the Demons. Michael Mansfield now is coming off the ground under the blood rule. A cut on the lip. Game number 197. His 16th for Carlton, acquired this season. So off he comes. And now some haste down on the Blues bench.
Dennis, just watching this game so far, it's almost as though it quite hasn't happened, but whoever wins it out the middle will kick a goal eventually. It's almost the luck's going to go with that team. And they've both got those strong midfields as we talked about. And I just get the sense that whoever wins the 50-50s in the midfield, it's going to give their forwards enough chances.
They surge, don't they? Way to numbers, just pushing down the ground.
Lappin on now.
Yeah, Matthew Lappin on the ground. Played very well last week. So ball up out towards the wing. Interesting start. Hasn't been classical. 3-2 to 2-2. White is up to win it down. That's classical. Into the path of a rampaging Farmer. Kicks from 65 metres out. Woden almost knocked away. Franchina gets the crumb. Silvani deep in his own defensive area, needs support. McKay's got it now. Rice to the opposite pocket. This will need to be precise. It is. Rice has got it. Nothing on towards the outer side. Has to check. Hume is running hard. McKay runs on. Robertson gave a contest. Well done. Socket off the ground by Ratton, out of bounds on the full. Melbourne free, 55 metres out. Rigoni's got it. Guy Rigoni. In fact, it's coming to Robertson now. And probably a better result.
Bit stiff there, Ratton.
Just bad luck.
It's a hard volley, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Robertson comes back. Phoebe under pressure. Recovers pretty well. McDonald in trouble, out of trouble. They've come back to the wing. Engerson back to Robertson where he started. And he's got the ball about 75 metres out. Plays on immediately. Probing kick inside the 50. Neitz was up. No mark. It falls to Beaumont. Beaumont towards the middle. Taken by Allen. Flirted with the idea of a hand pass. Hickmott is on towards the outer side. Didn't see him. Hickmott is still running up the ground. Not required. Hamill in front takes the mark.
So Hamill about 60 out from goal. He was always going to be the one that Melbourne were probably going to find hardest to match up on, Malcolm, just in height and shape.
Yeah, although Matthew Collins has got a couple of kicks on him early, so it's been a good duel so far.
Collins has been a good defender for them too in recent weeks. There's a good looking kick from Hamill as far as distance goes, but again, accuracy failing him. So 3-3 to 2-2. What have we learned after 10 minutes, do you think, gentlemen?
Well, as Malcolm said before, both midfields are fairly even. White and Porter, you know, a fairly even contest there. I don't mind the feedback handball, Blighty, before. Anthony McDonald, he handballed the ball back about 15 metres, but when you do that, you've got to find a target, particularly when you're playing a side like Carlton. You just can't turn the ball over.
Sure. The other thing with Carlton is that when you've seen them play very well, they actually kick goals. They're not point kickers. They're a very skilled team.
Collins off half-back to the wing. Allen in the contest. McKay at the front. Robertson was the leaper. McDonald just getting him a little nudge. And the ball out of bounds. From a possession point of view, Ratton's had 4 possessions. Hickmott 3. Camporelli 4. Hume 4. So nothing over the top outstanding. Collins has had 5 for Melbourne to be the most prolific ball winner on the ground. This man, Camporelli, his 5th possession coming up. And he had a loose man, and it's Hickmott, who could run on and score, but he uses Lappin instead. Lappin steadying and kicks well. Well, they've got 4 for a little more than half a quarter, so that's not a bad return.
Well, Hickmott's playing on the wing over here, on our side here. I mean, he just worked so hard, Adrian Hickmott, and got rewarded. I think you said, Hutto, Camperelli's been very good up in the midfield, but Lappin just come on to replace Mansfield. He's got the job on Uze, Lappin, and that is hard running by young Lappin. Yeah, terrific play by him. Great goal.
And Mansfield back on now, boys. We'll see Darren Hume on the boundary line here.
Hickmott getting loose a couple of times on the outer side. Yes, Hume off. Mansfield patched up and back on. Lappin probably saving himself with that goal. He stayed on. Porter goes up, thumps it down. Freeborn at the second attempt. Here's Lappin again, tracking it out towards the boundary. Phoebe got into his back, no free. Uze tackled off the ball, affected the kick, only went 10 metres. Camperelli unloads now, long kick. Hamill goes up, fisted away. Whitnell to Crum. Was that too high? Ball jarred out of there. Houghton charges in. Over the top goes Collins. In there is Hickmott, met very solidly. And a couple of the Carlton players unhappy about that. Hickmott low down, diving after the footy. Knows only one way. He was a bit lucky there. One Melbourne player in particular went in rather crudely.
As we watch this again, and Whitnell unloads it. Houghton was good. Ooh. Collins tries to kick it off the ground, which I've seen paid worse for free kicks.
Yep. Bounce 25 metres out. Houghton goes up, directs it down. Nicholson trying to dive on top of it. Phoebe, Powell, Collins, nicely worked. This is White, comes up wide towards the wing. Woden will need to go. If we've learned one thing about Porter, it's the courage he's got to go back after the footy. Franchina from the hand pass. And now Hamill right on the 50.
Just one of the things the Carlton players will have to watch is that Melbourne actually feed the ball back. A few sides in competitions do, particularly in defence. White there as the extra player. Carlton got to be careful not to get bees around a honeypot, as I call it. Just too many players inside.
Carlton lead it by 13 points. Aaron Hamill from long range to increase the lead. They're looking better. This one hasn't got the carry, not quite. They contest a couple of metres out. A whistle and a free kick, I think, is going to Carlton.
Lappin, is it?
Lappin's got the footy. No idea what that is for. But Lappin a chance to put his second goal in the space of 2 minutes.
I think he went down relatively early in that contest.
Same angle, much closer. Hits the post this time. Gave it a thump.
Pretty casual approach there from Matthew Lappin. Then I thought he only had two or three steps. Here's the replay once again.
Yeah.
Push off the ball.
You couldn't really tell from that, though, could you?
Looked like Stephen Phoebe may have pushed him off the footy.
Well, Ingerson, who's up a little bit further than he's perhaps used to. Nicholson, handball, bit wobbly. Rigoni now onto the wing. The Demons just not quite as methodical as usual. They love to run. Uze had Powell loose at half forward if he can get the sit. He has. Can he kick his second goal? Doesn't really try. Liam Shelley pushing back. Got the nice little push off, but just couldn't get to the footy in the end as it went through his hands.
Hutto, Matthew Allen off the ground, and Favola now replaced him for the Blues.
Well, the Blues have looked pretty dangerous up forward. That will add another dimension, I guess. 4-4 to 2-2. 23 minutes have gone in this opening quarter. Thumped towards the line by Porter. Woden Franchina has not left his side, and still he hasn't. The ball out of bounds. Blighty and Dougie, they've pushed Woden forward to try and use his height in one out.
Well, you're right, Hutto. He's very underrated, Franchino, and he's been terrific. And he has been have some big jobs. I mentioned the Blighty before. He had a job on McLeod, did a fairly good job a few weeks back. And he's doing a good job on Woden so far.
Rice got it away. Silvani, Whitnell and Nicholson again at the contest. Everyone pushing and shoving, no one really going for the ball. Ward's handball, as you can see, is wide and over and out.
Well, Carlton have pushed all bar Favola back into the half of Melbourne now, so it's going to be very, very difficult for Melbourne to score. It'll be scruffy stuff for a while until the ball's cleared away from here.
Boundary throw in. Porter works in front. Schwarz reaching over the top. Franchina's in there battling for Carlton. Woden, a whistle.
I just reckon Neitz and Schwarz have to start getting a bit of the footy. There's only one kick between them. Jeff Farmer, as Dipper said before, has been forced to come up the ground. Farmer's more dangerous when he's inside 50 and playing deep. That's where we'll certainly test Dean Rice, in my opinion.
So the time remaining. Handy lead for the Blues. Porter Taps it down. McKay slickly away. Brilliant hand pass. Releases Franchina, kicking down towards half forward. Ingerson. Fine defensive grab, that one. Committed to the pack, played it well. White the fumble. As it turned out, it may aid him. Picks it up, gets the hand pass away. Powell under pressure. Rigoni hurriedly towards half forward. Franchina missed it. Loose ball at the back. Melbourne 3-on-1. Robertson tried to work it forward. Woden took a long time. Strong tackle by Beaumont, got him down. And the hand pass goes across the boundary line. And Carlton now masters of playing the game on their own terms.
Yeah, that's. I must admit that's why I liked them a bit more today. You know, I think they've got the quality of the midfield. Their pressure when they've played well has been like this. They look on song to me a bit.
Porter knocks it down. Rigoni. Still Rigoni. Stopped it. Shinned across the line by Leoncelli. So another boundary throw in. Carlton 4-4-28. Melbourne 2-2-14. The breeze not a factor. Melbourne winning the toss, going left to right.
Well, the Blues lead the most tackles in the competition, and I haven't seen Melbourne like this the last few weeks. Their pressure by the Blues have been terrific.
Yes, they just look a little rattled at the moment. And this is why the Blues off half back. McKay. Demons have got an extra man or two back, but it's for Vola. Was he pushed in the back by Ingerson? No, said the umpire. White having to do a lot of extra heavy work on the rebound. Leoncelli and now Uze. As they get it inside 50, the pass was good. And Neitz really missed one that he should have taken. Hasn't seen much of it, Neitz. Fletcher's kick is excellent, and Mansfield can start something from half back. Manton pushing well up the ground. This is Mansfield. One-on-one, Nicholson and Whitnell. You'd back Whitnell nearly every time. I wonder how long it'll be before the move is made. There's an open square. Whitnell was going for it. Well, he might remove Nicholson himself if he kept kicking the ball into his head like that. A high one. Powell to try and spoil. Lappin's handball was so quick. Camporelli only just managed to grab hold of it. And his kick going into the square. And again, Jeff White, who's been forced to do all his work very deep. Oh, Robertson, he went too hard. They are really just off the mark at the moment. The Demons haven't really been punished yet by the Blues, but they do trail by 14. And that is an excellent mark. Hickmont just couldn't get the spoil on. And McDonald takes the mark.
It's kind of a bit contagious there where you see David Neitz, the skipper, just got to take those marks. He just can't afford to drop those marks. That's his job in that full line to grab the ball, and you just missed that. You've got to take them.
Amazing thing, pressure. Demons looking anxious. The high ball from McDonald. Great mark again by Porter, putting his stamp early on this game.
Look at Blighty smile here, Dennis. He loves this bloke.
Seen as the backup coming in. He's front line and centre at the moment. Camporelli couldn't hang on. Knocked down by Phoebe. Collins quickly away. Walsh, that's better. Kept their heads. McDonald, looping hand pass. Leoncelli feeds it back. Rigoni. Leoncelli needs a kick now. Not the best kick. It wanders up towards half forward. Farmer, awkward bounce. Ricocheted off Neitz, taken by Powell. Back towards Neitz. He soccers off the ground. Bruce gets it across to Gergic. Gergic swings it down towards full forward. And the Ox. Schwarz has taken the mark in the pocket. And he needs to be patient.
Gergic just came on the ground, straight off the boundary line and straight into the act.
Different runs around, nimble as you like, a nimble Ox. He kicks the goal.
Well, it was almost against the flow of play, that goal. It been down the Carlton end, and I just felt they went wide to leading in the pocket for a long time, Carlton, and really didn't get any value. 2 or 3 kicks into the forward pocket. Eventually, it was a sensational piece of play all the way down. Carlton were super competitive with their body and tackling, and then it ended up with Schwarz, who does that every time he plays, and I can't believe that Stephen Silvani's fallen for that.
Porter on the boundary lines we see, gentlemen, and Matthew Allen back in the side there, and Russell Robertson came off for Gergic there.
Yeah, tackles Carlton 15 to Melbourne only 5. Inside 50, Carlton 15 to the Demons only 10.
I'm still trying to picture a nimble Ox. The ball back in the middle. White gave them first use, but it's Hickmont that takes it. Ratton as the Blues, only leading by a goal, have been on top as those stats would suggest. Lappin went to ground. Has that perhaps a little more than he should. The ball towards the boundary by Bruce. Lord grabbed it, went back into trouble, just kicked it forward. And Beaumont in best position to take the mark, which he eventually does. And now quickly the Blues go into attack. Although it wasn't a good kick, wasn't a good one at all. Nicholson fumbled, but got it forward, got it in front of himself. Demons had numbers. Ward again, who's worked hard. Gergic just on the ground. They've had to kick really rush kicks from the wing and into attack. It's been tough for them. Bruce, good body work. Excellent stuff on Fletcher. And he could go short. He does. To half forward. Gergic might have a crack at them from there. He does. And just misses. And he could go by Essendon's rules. Then that wasn't the thing to do. It would have brought the members stand to their feet.
Well, he did look, Hutto. I think he had a bit of a sneaky look out the side of his eye to the centre of the square. No one was there, so he decided to have a shot. I think he had no other option.
Egmont driving towards the outer side, and Favola well played from behind. Ingerson fisting away. Uze just inside the 50. Silvani step for step there with Schwarz. It ricocheted across to Uze, who met Silvani. The ball wedged in there. And the bounce. Now they're committed. Now they're warmed up. Carlton by 7 points. Interesting. Porter off the ground. Watch this again.
Yeah, a lot of guys taking on a chest mark, and when you do that, always say, why don't you get your hands out in front? And I guess it's that decision. You've got that split second to make it, and it's Peter Maynard.
Peter Maynard.
Yeah, former runner with the Adelaide Crows in '98.
Ordered off the ground. Now a free kick on the outer side will go to Melbourne and Schwarz.
Played a bit of footy with Melbourne too, Peter Maynard, in the maybe the late 70s, early 80s.
Yeah, had a great career with Glenelg in the SANFL.
Always contentious. The ruckman locking up.
He's in a perfect position to kick this goal.
Will take a good kick from 60. The spiral, if you don't mind, it's back in vogue. Right, he's curling the mo. It bounces through for a behind. You'd love to see that, don't you?
Oh, I reckon it's a great skill, and it's a very dangerous player that can kick him and kick him well.
Only great players can do it, Mel.
Only great players.
Took the 80
can do
metres out. That was a 90.
No, not 98.
Great feeling when they go. There's Rice in the back pocket. Hugs the boundary with a kick towards the outer side. Whitnell. Nicholson got a timely first on it. Hickmont came in charging, taken down by Uze, lapping around the outer side, getting industrious towards half forward. Franchina left it behind. Woden went to ground. Franchina intent on locking it in. And the umpire, no alternative but to go across and bounce it down. Scott McLean. There's the siren for quarter time. Very interesting turn. It hasn't told us a lot. Great pressure from Carlton, but Melbourne have coped. At times it hasn't been pretty, but Melbourne just trailing by 6 points now. Goal scorers for Carlton: Whitnell, Porter, Lappin and Hume, and for Melbourne, Schwarz, Powell and Meeks.
As we get ready to start the second quarter from the MCG, the second qualifying final, Blues with a narrow advantage. Uze, the first kick, but as you saw, just off the ground. Camporelli under pressure, but gets it to centre half forward. Ward in front and does well.
I'll just give the quick benches here. It's Porter, Freeborn, Houlihan, Houghton for Carlton.
Collins onto the wing, and Gergic taking it and unloading it. Now Neitz is one out. He's in front. Great spoil from Manton. Powell has the best chance here. He's going to be run down. Did well to get the handball. Ian Chally across the body. Schwarz in front. The ball dropping. Silvani. And it's out of bounds. And a lot of... You'd expect Silvani to do a pretty good job, Malcolm, but a lot of pressure on Manton to stand up against Neitz, and so far he's been great.
Look, he has been, and when you've got Silvani alongside you, I just reckon he helps the whole team. I mean, it just gives some stability to the whole back line.
So Demons attacking. Allen, Silvani and Beaumont, and it's out again.
And hello, for Melbourne, we've got Johnson, Green, Russell Robinson and Troy Simmons. So Carlton have made 2 changes in that first quarter huddle.
So 4-4 playing 3-4. Allen the tap. Again, it's a scrap and a fight. Powell quickly onto the boot. And very quickly through the middle. That's his second. So suddenly scores a level at the MCG. And the Demons, for all their nerves and for being under all that pressure, are back on level terms.
Well, I think we mentioned before that Melbourne ain't playing really great football, but gee, here we are, as you just said, Harlow, back on level terms here. Stephen Powell has been terrific since crossing the Western Bulldogs. He's had plenty of the football. Hasn't been really that goal kicker, but that is just a great shot for goal. A rush shot, but a good goal by Stephen Powell.
All square. Allen and White go at it. White up very high, knocks it forward. Mansfield, nicely done, spinning out of trouble. Allen again. Brown. Now Camporelli. In full flight, a couple of bounces. Runs to the 50. Can he finish? Wide of the mark, this one. Bounces out of bounds in the opposite pocket. Not his best effort.
Dennis, a week's a long time in footy. Kicked 4 of those in 1 quarter last week.
To that end.
To that end.
Yeah.
You just wonder, was he having a shot then, or did he try and set up Whitnell for that?
No, I reckon what's happened is he's learnt that you don't need to kick it hard. Your momentum of your body just carries the ball forward. And I think he just didn't quite hit it right.
Collins falling to the ground. Very wide. Phoebe hard against the line. Keeps it in. And gains about 30 metres. Well played. The wily veteran just bouncing it across the line.
Good to see Fraser Brown on for his first run too. He's a very important player in the midfield. He's playing on Guy Rigoni. He's a very important player in the back line for the D's too, Stephen Phoebe. Missed a fair bit of footy this year for injury, but he's very important.
Do you reckon that was out of bounds and deliberately done? Some people think it is.
I don't think so. No. I think it's intelligent football, to be honest.
Terrific. I'm with you.
Well, when you're a kid, you've been told that if you're in under enormous pressure, go to the boundary sort of type thing. Yeah. Disguise it.
Across to Powell. Powell towards midfield. Nicely done. This is McDonald. Lays it off. Bursting up the ground is Walsh. Trying to draw a man. Comes wide to Gergich. Back over the shoulder. Well worked. Walsh from about 65 metres out down towards Bruce. Controls it with his feet. Gets it on the up to Schwarz. Open goal. Oh, that was clever. He's got 2.
What did you think of the Schwarz body language here? This bit.
Here we go. David Schwarz. He's clear, Malcolm.
That.
Well,
do you want me to honestly tell you, do you?
Yep.
I don't mind, Mel. What's your opinion? Yeah. What's yours?
I reckon it sucks. I reckon you flirt with your form and you flirt with the opposition. And I've seen many a game turn because of that.
The last thing you want to do is make the opposition angry, I'd suggest.
And I'd suggest that the runner's gone out to him now to tell him, pull his head in.
I think Rodney Grinter, you're right, Mel. I think he would have said, listen, hey, there's no need for that. I'm not sure.
There's no need, Doug. I mean, you've got an easy ball.
Yeah.
Why would you shove it in the opposition's face? Just go and kick the goal.
Fraser Brown on and straight into the action.
Why stir them up? The only thing that can go wrong with that...
Bit of their eyes. And I think, look, the form you said, I think you've got to be careful.
Yeah, but if you go... Oh, gee, you're handling with fire there. Dealing with fire.
No, you've got to be pretty confident in what you can do for the rest of the day.
Well, he's got to kick 8 or 9 now. Slaughter.
Oh, good luck.
No, they've got to win.
Exactly. 5-4 to 4-4, and we shouldn't miss the brilliant work from Bruce either. It was outstanding. The Demons in front, and suddenly the pressure back on the Blues. And Hickmott's kick. Whitnell will take the mark. And I know it's up to the Melbourne coaching to do it, Malcolm, and I hate to labour the point, but I wonder how long it'll be before that move is made.
Yeah, it's a great mark, isn't it? He's great use of the body. But he's played their most, well, conceivably in their good form in this last 2 or 3 months. So, it was a perfect kick. He was in front. Whitnell just used his body beautifully. This is a big kick, actually. And there's a bloke down the other end playing full forward for Melbourne. Will be nearly choked if he gets this.
Well, he does.
And rightly so.
5-4. Both teams at the MCG. Lance Whitnell striking back. The runner talking to Nicholson. I wonder if the move will be made yet.
Well, he's a class act, Lance Whitnell. We all know that. No doubt about that. He's lost a fair bit of weight.
Hickmott, good kick out the middle.
Great
too.
kick out, rush kick, yeah.
Just straight forward.
He's a class act.
There's going to be some Melbourne people that really hate me because I had to go at Schwarz earlier in the year for arguing with the umpire. Here I am again on his case. Sorry, David.
Scores are tied. 5-4 apiece. Early going second term. Another centre square infringement. This time against the Blues.
That's 2. That's unforgivable. I mean, there's some undisciplined stuff going on here, isn't there? I mean, that's you just no need to do that. You're going to win the centre by a fingernail. It doesn't mean anything.
White goes wide, intended for Neitz, knocked away by Hickmott. Manton in trouble, taken front on by McDonald. This is Mansfield, head straight for the line. That's got to be deliberate. Throw it in, says the umpire.
Dennis, the move has been made now.
Great tolerance every week from the umpire. Sometimes.
The move has been made now.
That is deliberate, Dennis. I think I'm with you there. I think deliberate.
Dipper, a voice in the wilderness. The change has been made. Yes, I heard you. Close to the boundary line. Now, Dip, now. This is your chance. You're on.
This is it. The move has been made. Ingleson now picking up Whitnell. There you are, boys. And Simmons now on for Vola.
Practice makes perfect. Well done. So boundary throw and just inside the 50. 34 apiece. Schwarz very conscious of Allen. Clean possession though. McDonald at close quarters. Got through almost. The hand pass from Walsh. Rigoni comes across to support. Smothered off Collins' boot. Ricochets back towards midfield. Hamill. Fast break opportunity now. Beaumont towards half forward. Ratton. Good grab. Will he sneak away? He does. Run down from behind. No reward for stealth. Holding the ball's the call. Uze to take it. Big momentum swing there. He comes out to Ingerson. Ratton thought he was away. A lack of talking perhaps, but hard to hear with this roar. Rigoni released. Running through midfield. Guy Rigoni takes on the tackler. Beat one. Little hand pass. Not particularly deft. The hand pass came back from McDonald to Rigoni. Kicks off his step. Bounces very high inside the 50. Powell missed it. Chance for Farmer. Fletcher missed him. Silvani applies the tackle. Ball jarred out of there. Picked up by Franchina. Throws it on the boot. Meters in the clear. Melbourne now a chance to pop it back in. This is Uze with support. Uze, he's got it. Gets away from McKay. Looks for Farmer. He missed it. Rice was there. Step for step. Socket up the ground by Neitz down towards full forward. In the road is Hume. Dragged down by Powell. Got the kick away. Farmer goes back with courage. No mark grabbed by Rice. Rice kicks it towards the boundary line. Bundled across his Fletcher.
He's playing in the back.
In the back, says the umpire.
Oh, no. They've
Wow.
thrown things onto the ground here.
Oh, Dennis, take a rest, will you?
That appeared to be a mark.
Hey, this was all because Brett Ratton, you know, very experienced player, made a wrong call. There's been a lot of pressure on players making uncharacteristic mistakes.
Well, here we go again, Ed. Look at that. It is fierce stuff. Final stuff at the MCG. 75,000 people plus in full voice.
That's the
It's
best
great.
wrestling hole I've ever seen. I mean, everyone's seen that one.
This is a test for the umpires too, right here.
It's a big part of Ratton's game, Blight. As you said, his awareness is normally pretty good. He just had no awareness then. I know there's a lack of talk as well, but his awareness was pretty ordinary, I thought.
All this last 3 or 4 minutes has been a fair dinkum waste of energy for players. You know, they're going to burn some petrol up here.
Allen and Schwarz. Beaumont pushing Gergic, little kick. McKay, Woden, crunch again. Silvani got the kick away onto the wing. Ratton from behind. Great work, Collins takes them on. Likewise, Fraser Brown. Fierce stuff, it's where he loves it. Ratton up to 50. Whitnell in front with him, Ingerson. Close to Favola. Was he held? Surely he was held. He was.
I was going to make a call on this before. Nicholson might not be able to play full back. You know, we're talking about getting him back there. He's now there. Some blokes get it as we look at that free kick, definite free kick.
Oh, who's gone Fraser Brown? No one. He strolls in and kicks a goal. Blues back in front.
Well, I thought the free kick was all right, Mel. I thought Favola was off. He was going to go there, and I just thought Ingliston had to sort of retard him in some way. Just watch this one here. I think he was away.
Oh, yeah.
Professional free kick in some way, I thought.
Yeah, no, I've got no problem with the free kick. But I was just thinking about Nicholson at full back. I mean, he might not be comfortable in playing there. Some guys don't like the goals just right behind them. So it'll be interesting to watch him on Favola from here, I think.
Yeah, Schwarz has just taken himself off the ground and just changed his shorts. I think he just lost the elastic around the top there, so he'll be back on the ground shortly.
He wants a phone, but he wants to talk to Malcolm. 6-4, 5-4. Bud's back in the middle. White goes up, slaps it down. Ratton knocks it out of the congestion initially. Uze hurriedly onto the boot. It bounces down towards half forward. Bruce came up to meet it. Still Bruce sliding in there was Hume. He missed it. Bruce digs it away. Hume. Mansfield now kicking down towards half forward. Hickmott is up in front. Couldn't complete the mark. Camporelli, brilliantly done. He spotted someone at the corner of his eye. It was Lappin. Will the ball stay in? 3-on-2 deep inside 50. Lappin takes on the tackler. Runs into an open goal and gets it. Great poise. He's got 3.
Yeah, my fault there, Dennis. He's kicked 2. It was my fault there.
It's a great signal, though.
Yeah. I don't like giving you the 2 fingers. That's probably the reason I don't give you 2. But he's been great, Lappin, since coming on the ground to replace Mansfield. Had that blood rule. Great hard running here, good sidestep here, brilliant football. Once again, Nicholson could be unsure down there at full back. Good play there by Lappin.
Since the Schwarz goal, Carlton have kicked 3 goals to 0.
Really?
Yes. Amazing, isn't it? 7-4 to 5-4. A test for the Demons. They're still right up, but the Blues in the last couple of minutes have been winning it out of the midfield, and here they go again. Allen, normally a thumping left footer. It's a high one for Vola. Nicholson, oh, he did well, but not well enough. Hume, can he cap it off? No. So, plenty to think about for the Melbourne coaching bench.
That was nearly a gimme too, wasn't it? I mean, that was momentum swinging. See how he turned the ball? He didn't need it. It's just a little drop punt round the corner. I don't know why blokes lay the ball flat over their boot.
Now, Nicholson hasn't got much to go to here. He goes for the boundary line. Of course, it wasn't deliberate. So we'll see
Were they
a
paying
throw
that
in.
early in the year, Anthony?
Sorry?
They were paying that early in the year, weren't they?
I have never seen a deliberate play for someone kicking the ball out of bounds.
Particularly when you're 40 metres away. I mean, if you're a little bit closer, surely, but when you're 40 metres from the boundary, you can't be penalised.
Allen and White fill at their feet. Brown bounces it inside the 50. 2-on-1 situation for the Blues again. Ratton tries to knock the ball to his own advantage. Applies a tackle on Phoebe. Phoebe didn't have the footy. And now the ball goes across the line with Collins.
Wonderful ruck work there, Dennis, from Matthew Allen. Just on the offside down to Fraser Brown. I mean, they've worked that system for a few years now.
Quite ironic. Porter sitting watching. Boundary throw in. Ingerson behind Whitnell. Over the top came Hamill. Leoncelli meters in the clear. Uses all his available time. Collins. Now McDonald running. He's had a bounce. A second. Intent on drawing a man. Nobody coming. McDonald chip passes. Showed too much of it to McKay. Rebound opportunity for Vola. A little tentative. Taken down by Leoncelli. The ball bounces towards the boundary line. Spinning out of trouble. Well played McDonald. Leoncelli. Too slick there for Nicholson. He dropped it. Ward came to his assistance. Leoncelli goes wider. And Walsh now in space around the outer side. Good looking kick. Getting there was Manton. Got it on the ground. Kept his feet, kicks it back to half forward. Nicholson in best position is going to get the free kick. McKay came at him. In terms of what we're seeing, some trivial kicks are being paid and some blatant ones are being missed.
Gee, David Neitz is concerned, isn't he, at the moment for Melbourne? He needs to take a grab. Manton's doing a fantastic job. At the moment, we're watching Mansfield. Manton, free kick advantage. Fraser Brown takes it, tries to get Hume back. He found a little gap. Hume away through the middle. Whitnell in front. Ingerson made the spoil. Great stuff. Centre half forward. Ratton, handball intercepted. Walsh took them on. Leoncelli just got enough boot on it out wide. Gurgic with plenty of space to work in. Powell might lead into the pocket. He goes longer to full forward. Schwarz has got 2 to beat. Brought it to the ground. Silvani, little dribbly kick. Farmer if it stays in. And it does. Farmer, can he work something from there? Tough for Neitz to give it back to him. Couldn't give it back to him. Rice just treaded water for a while, and then he kicked it out of bounds, and it didn't go out. Now it does.
Well, you hate those handballs. I mean, you got no hope there, David Neitz. You caught it right, Hutto. Jeff Farmer's handball certainly gave him no opportunity. Just set him up to be tackled.
And Jeff White coming off the ground with Brad Green coming on.
And the runner out to Brendan Favola for that little...
No, Simmons is coming on.
thing that he did earlier, not going to footy.
Yep, Simmons onto the ruck. Blues heading forward, but not for long. Uze just goes out wide. Oh, very tough out there for Schwarz. Again, outnumbered. And the Blues coming away. Aaron Hamill through centre half back, and now McKay.
McKay generally uses it well. Ratton had to wait. He'll get a free kick. Plays on. Kicks inside the 50. Lappin again. He's causing all sorts of problems. Heads for home. He's kicked another one. Matthew Lappin. That's right, Doc. Off the bench. An impact player this afternoon.
Dennis, he was last week too when he came off the bench and livened the show up. As we watch this great play again. Does stand his ground, Ratton. Very good at that. Favola should learn from that. And he's been certainly told that. So, and is that now 4 in a row since that little indiscretion from Schwarz, is it, mate? Yeah.
It is 4, Malcolm.
Ryan Houlihan, and there's Brendan Favola on the bench, replaced by Trent Houghton. So the Blues now, this is a very handy lead, 19 points. Change in the mix with Simmons in the ruck, but nothing changes. Ratton gets it out of the middle. Whitnell, was he being held? Get another chance now. He'll get clear. Just popped it up a little bit upishly for Camporelli. He was under pressure when he kicked. It might still get through. It does, but only from behind. So 8-6 to 5-4 on a sunny Sunday afternoon with the MCG at near full capacity. Not many better places to be come finals time, that's for sure. Phoebe with the footy.
Carlton 24 tackles to Melbourne 7. You just get a feeling Carlton's been here before on centre stage, and the D's is all foreign ground from the moment. The pressure is starting to get to some of their players, I reckon.
Well, Ward deep in defence still. Oh, it was dangerous, but it was okay. Oh, Simmons. Oh, it wasn't okay. Simmons spilt the mark. Almost hurled out. Woden. The numbers are still with Carlton. Free kick. And he took it by hand. Leoncelli away with that look of determination on his face. McDonald. Just the options haven't really been there for the Demons when they've streamed forward. Again, the Blues manning up well. Fletcher well tackled at Houghton. It comes out eventually. And now McKay's away off half-back. A low kick towards the boundary line. Wasn't well placed for Whitnell. Oh, Ward took a long time. He was just looking at it. He must have had the boundary in mind all the way, and it's out.
And Tuna's been very good. Woden's only had the 6 touches, so it'd be fair to say he's done his job. Looks like Matthew Allen having a bit of spell, and Mark Porter had a great first quarter back on the ground.
Jeff White sitting down. Boundary throw in then. Ingerson trying to reach over the top of Whitnell. Johnston got it away. Powell off his step. Gains about 25 metres. McKay almost a clever mark from behind. That man again. Lappin grabs it. Kicks inside the 50. In front, Collins came hard and thumps it across the boundary line.
Johnson's a pretty big move on here. Travis Johnson coming on. He is their legs and speed. Can make some ordinary decisions at times, but they really do need a bit of a lift now. They need a goal desperately, Melbourne.
It's been good the last couple of weeks, Mel. Travis Johnson certainly, he can use the ball, but sometimes his decision making can be a bit lets him down at times.
8.5 minutes to half time. There's the man they're talking about, Johnson, waiting behind the pack, putting it up towards the wing. Gergich, a clever mark. The Demons needing the next goal. He swings it back towards the middle. Weiss, though, favoured by the kick. Usana problem, tried to punch it away. Mansfield at close quarters to Rice. He was going nowhere. Fletcher, McKay, that's better. Hume, they've got the poise, the confidence coming from Carlton. Lappin's been everywhere. Houghton, 60 metres out, miscues, hit the man on the mark, Nicholson, taken by Leoncelli, Gergich, Walsh, Gergich in trouble, with a hand pass, Phoebe, eventually it spills across to Rigoni to Nicholson, that's better. Woden run down from behind, but not before he got the kick away, inside the 50, Neitz dragged off the footy, it stayed behind him, Silvani wrestled to the ground, he slaps it outside the 50, Hamill gets the hand pass away to McKay, and McKay breaks away. McKay towards the wing. Hickmott kicks down towards half forward, but it's a wayward kick. One of their few blemishes. It's out of bounds on the full.
I was about to say Jeff Farmer needs a bit of lift, but he's been taken from the ground, and Brad Green's on.
It's a big lift there, off the ground.
Yep.
Leoncelli taking it, 20 points the margin. Goes to the wing. The Demons need to take a mark inside 50. Could this be the time? Oh, yes, it was. Green.
Pull the hand on.
Watching Bruce take the mark and then kicking it into the pocket. And now we've got Adamuze.
Just reckon David Neitz may need to get himself into the game. Maybe come up to centre half forward and push Schwarz back, because David Neitz has only had the 3 kicks and kicked the goal. I think it was that early in that first quarter. He's a very important player, Mel.
Well, he is, but it also maybe put him at centre half back for a while. I mean, it hasn't been a great spot.
Good
just give him some kicks and see what happens from there.
So Uze, what a crucial kick for the Demons. No. Oh, maybe still a chance. That's unbelievable, isn't it? Walsh. Camporelli.
Oh, yeah. They're game turners, those things.
That's terrible, isn't it?
Oh.
That's his opponent too. Walsh got the job on Camporelli. Camporelli's had 12 touches, been pretty good.
Doesn't look too confident here. Peter Walsh looking for options as you would.
You've got to kick on the left foot, wouldn't you? Boomerang.
Yep.
Well, that man, Hume, can't be 10 metres away. Doesn't matter.
Oh, he's done it. What a kick. What a kick from Peter Walsh. Melbourne crowd at the MCG, and boy, did they need that one.
Well, if we can get David Schwarz now for a while and think about this play, because that's just turned it again. I mean, you can't let that happen in a game of footy. It's almost as though everyone just turned off, and Camporelli, I mean, he's played very well, but that is a that is a mental letdown from everybody, and the Carlton team will pay for it.
Big team lift for that one for Welsh.
It's got some momentum back.
Yep.
Approaching half-time, Carlton led it by 14 points. Regoni claimed immediately, going nowhere, wrestled to the ground, ball up alongside the centre circle. Tough, uncompromising game since quarter time. Fluky game early, but it settled down. Carlton generally dictating the terms. Farmer, a match winner, watching. But bear in mind, last time, or one of the times during the season that he was sat down, he came back and kicked 9 goals as Ratton comes out wide. Lappin about 75 metres from goal, 2-on-1. Ingerson thumps it wide, it's 4-on-1. Franchina got a hand on that ball, coming in freeborn, looking to trap it. Woden taken to the ground by Franchina, and we'll have a ball up.
He's done very well there. The other thing Carlton players just want to wake up to is Ingerson actually punches left hand. I mean, it's an unusual when you go to left-handed puncher. A fair few of the balls are going to go into that right forward pocket. Crummers need to understand their teammates and who they're playing on.
Well, Danaher sitting Farmer down. Round 14 against Collingwood. Booted the 9. Will it be a spark to get him firing? Hume, close quarters. Johnston trying to go back through the traffic, going nowhere. Just steps back across the line. 54-40. Throw in, 55 metres out from Carlton's attacking goal. Porter, the backhander. Hume's hand pass untidy. Johnston missed it. Still he leads in the race. Johnston. Hand passes to a voice, but it fell short of Powell. Camporelli getting busy on the wing. Camporelli back towards the attacking 50. Again, Whitnell surrounded. Ingerson a defiant fist. Knocks it out of bounds.
I just reckon Hume's been very good this quarter for Carlton. He's probably had 9 touches, and Lappin as well. Two of the, it's fair to say, younger players for the Carlton side.
Well, there's the equation. 14 points the margin, and if the Demons could get one back before half-time, they would go in very happy, because the Blues, with other ideas, of course, have dominated this quarter for most of it. Houghton presented, but just couldn't take it. The numbers still with Carlton. That's good tackling by Ingerson just to hold it up. Fletcher appealing that the ball was under his teammate. 8-6, playing 6-4. Schwarz and Powell kicking 2 goals each. Lappin 3 and Whitnell 2. The majors on the field so far. Houghton, down it goes Collins. He's wrapped up. And we'll go again. 4 minutes on the clock in this second quarter. Magnificent day at the MCG. Coolish but fine conditions and perfect for finals football. Houghton, Nicholson. Houghton trying to do it himself, couldn't. Ratton in there, but it's the Demons that get it away. Uze's kick though falling short. Falls right into the arms of Simon Beaumont. He's got plenty of way in there, but it wasn't a good kick. Demons might be able to get out of this board. Selling Powell into trouble, but somehow he got out of it, and away goes Rigoni over Nietzsche's head. Was that a push? Green prop, play on. Manton getting back, he's been outstanding. And he got a couple of options, one of them Silvani. Fletcher, if he goes this way, he doesn't. He goes to the southern side. And the man who's put through 3 goals, Lappin, takes it. And Fletcher's still loose as they get the switch on now. He had plenty running past. Hume was one of them. Rice the other, both involved. Well done, Brad Green. The fumble was there. The kick is not very attractive, but David Schwarz had it, lost it. Beaumont, he can take it away. So the mistakes still continuing at the MCG. We're right back where we started.
Silvani in trouble.
He's limping.
Lappin finds Hamill. Heard from Dipper there. Silvani limping, signalling to the bench. Or maybe Dipper. Hamill comes across. Lappin alongside the centre circle. Kicks towards half forward. In front. Porter. Another one for the collection. Another very good mark. That time low down, falling to the ground. Camporelli, 60 metres out, looking for Whitnell, wide of the mark, knocked away by Ingerson. He follows up, across his path went McKay. McKay does well. Houghton into space. Camporelli finds some space, 20 metres out, hasn't got the carry, not quite. Like a goalkeeper going back to protect the top left-hand corner of the net. Liancelli was there, fingertips to it, and helped it across the line. 8-7-6-4.
Sorry, Dennis. Great shepherd there by Franchino. Melbourne's gone forward twice. I think it was young Green and Rigoni. Missed their targets, turned the ball over. You've got to find your target.
Well, they did that hard. Silvani is off the ground. Hickmott on for the Blues. Powell, can he get a clearing kicking? Well, he had nowhere to go. In the end by hand, Johnson, can he just get it with him and take it away? He held it for a long time, then there was no one there but Carlton players. They can raffle it. Eventually, Beaumont can unload and send it long. Not much on offer, but Lappin! Well, there would have been a few nervous moments after the earlier call. Didn't pay the man in front that time. Phoebe away. And now Collins from half-back. Can go short, and it's okay. And Johnson, who has been very busy, as we suggested, after he came on. Rigoni through the middle. He took him on and didn't get clear of Houlihan. Must be holding the ball. Great stuff for Houlihan, who's only just on the ground. And the umpire bringing it back.
Gee, I haven't seen so many mistakes in the final. I mean, I've seen it's just amazing the decision-making of some players.
Hickmott kicks inside the 50, and Camporelli's taken this mark. About 40 metres out directly in front. Rigoni thought he got by in midfield. Houlihan stuck at it, and this was the end result.
Well, this could be the square up from Walsh's last goal, which seemed like an eternity ago, about 33 mistakes ago, doesn't it, really?
Stephen Silvani headed for the rooms. Only 44 seconds to half-time.
Ankle, yeah. Dipper called an ankle earlier.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
Camporelli, meantime, to increase the lead. It's currently at 15. This one just away to the right. Carlton probably, well, certainly should be further in front.
He's kicked 3 points, Dennis. Last week we saw him kick 4 goals in a quarter, we've mentioned a couple of times. So his kicking's been off, and he hasn't broken the game open.
They've had a few nervous moments from their kick-ins, Melbourne, though, haven't they? Rigoni takes the mark. We're down to 20 seconds, so they'll just hope to survive. Mightn't do that yet if McKay...
Oh, no one's touched it.
Came from the second kick, Melbourne. So it's out of bounds. 8-8-56 to 6-4-40. 12 seconds only remaining.
Everyone makes mistakes.
Typical coach, Melbourne, always looking ahead.
Haven't changed that rule, have you?
We're all human, Mel. We're all human.
Of course.
It took to the first week of the finals, but Blighty has made a mistake. Camporelli over the top. And that will be all you would think with a couple of seconds remaining. It's half-time at the MCG. Carlton in front. They could be further in front. It's 8-8, 56 to 6-4-40. Your thoughts, gentlemen?
Yeah, no doubt about that. They could be further in front there. Lappin's been very good up in their full line, but kicking 3 goals. Whitnell started the game very well with his 2 goals, and Hume I thought was terrific in that second quarter. Got plenty of the football. Camporelli had 10 touches in the second quarter as well, so he's been outstanding, Malcolm.
So half-time in the second qualifying final. A lot to play for. The loser plays Brisbane. The winner gets the weekend off. Half-time then 8-8 to 6-4. The margin 16 points Carlton's way.